I always start my floral cakes by piping the flowers first and putting them on a tray in the freezer so they can get nice and set up, so that way I can just pick them up and place them on the cake. I avoid piping flowers directly on a cake if at all possible. I just think it makes it so much harder, and then if you mess it up, you have to scrape it off and fix the cake before you can redo it. I just don't understand how some decorators will pipe a rose on a nail and just pick it up and throw it on the cake. I feel like that's kind of an old school decorating technique. I used to work with some ladies that had decorated for a really long time, and that's how they would always do it. And I understand the concept of it. I just don't understand why you would want to do it that way. Anyway, this cake was for a surprise party for my cousin's birthday. And it was a joint party with her and her husband. Their birthdays are both the same week, so they were celebrating together, and I pretty much had full creative freedom with this cake, which if you're a decorator, you'd probably agree you have a love-hate relationship with creative freedom. I typically love it, but when it's somebody I know, I just put so much extra pressure on myself to make it perfect, and I knew I was going to be at the party to see the reaction of the cake. But I figured for her cake at least, I couldn't go wrong with a pretty floral, so that's what I decided to do. Since it's February and we're in Ohio, I decided to go with a wintry muted floral theme, and I really loved how these turned out. I feel like I don't typically go for brown details like this on a cake, so I felt like that was something different for me at least to do, and I just really loved the combination of that with the blues. And I know you guys say you always like watching the real-time clips of writing on the cake, so I made sure to include the whole clip of that. I can't even blame you, it is super satisfying to watch back. I'll probably post the cake that went along with this one tomorrow. I wasn't intending on them to match or coordinate at all because they were completely different themes, but they ended up coordinating so well with the browns, and I was really happy with how they turned out. I know I say this at the end of every video, but I feel like this cake turned out so pretty.